This is for you, Gartha. I saw you ahead of me there, before the pack cut us off. Just want to tell you, you're wrong. The dead do care what happens to them after they die. I'm one of them now. I hear those monsters sniffing for me in the dark, and I know I'll be with the dead before anyone comes for us. And I do care. But I'd rather lie here 1,000 years undiscovered than have some greedy son of a Hutt like you dig me up just to see what I've got that's worth stealing. I hope someone else finds this and makes you pay for your crimes, like I'm about to pay for mine.
These are all the medical records I could find.
Thank you. I am sure you have braved many higher-profile dangers, but you will never do anything more important. You have saved countless lives. One of them may well be mine. My ancestors fled Taris 300 years ago, and my family still carries their curse. I thank you. You're back, and I don't see anyone with you. Did you... are they?
Dead? What did you think? The Rakghouls would buy them flowers and send them home?
Actually, one of them left you a message, Gartha.
A message? Oh, that must be Elizu. They were very close. I'll call the base and tell them what happened.
I'm putting in for a transfer. No job is worth this.
I hear you found a way to make it worth your while.
What did you find? Was Elizu alive? What did that lying coward say about me?
Elizu says he knows how the dead feel now when you desecrate them.
I've given 5 years of my life to this rock. Now that's worth nothing because I laid claim to a few forgotten necklaces? You're talking about people who died generations ago.
We'll see if you think prisoners have as few rights as the dead.
Very funny.
The commander's sending a team to retrieve the bodies. Thank you for doing what you could.
Ask your partner what's been happening to the valuables you find.
Oh, please. This is so humiliating. Yes, Elizu and I were stealing some trinkets for the black market. The blasted dead don't cry over it. Why should you?
How could you? You told me those boxes were going to the Republic Archive.
Yeah, so I lied. What, you going to turn me in for that too?
We'll work this out later. We've asked enough of your time. Although, if you have a moment...
You sound like there's something more on your mind.
Okay, this'll sound crazy, but there's more Rakghouls at our grave sites than any of the Republic target zones.
Ah, they're just drawn to the noise and the smell of flesh.
We're not any noisier or fleshier than a platoon of soldiers. I think they're protecting their ancestors.
Ancestors?
See, Rakghouls descend from sentience. It's a disease, one we know little about. But if my theory is correct, it'll be our first insight into how they think. This could be a first step toward taking the planet back from them.
Only if we look through their eyes can we understand what they see.
I kind of hope they're really the beasts they seem. Imagine if there's still a sentient person trapped inside.
What? You're not sending them to the bombardment site, are you? That place is so thick with Rakghouls you can see them from orbit.
Don't you interfere. We know what you think of the people of Taris. I am right about this. Why else would they be so determined to guard the bombardment sites? If you could get samples from both the Rakghouls and the skeletons at one of the main sites, we could see if they're related.
This matter bears investigation.
Seriously, Sierra, you think you can waste his valuable time on your crackpot theories?
You don't tell me what to do anymore. We know how you feel about the people of Taris. Please don't let Gartha discourage you. This is important. And I don't think there's anyone else on this planet willing to brave those Rakghouls to find out. I'll be waiting to hear what you find.
So much destruction.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
How can you be so cold?
The Reconstruction Authority ain't paying us to mope around.
Welcome back. Let's get those serum samples analyzed and see what we've got. Well, thank the Force for good Tarisian storage technology. I wasn't sure anything would still be viable after 3 centuries. While we wait, is there a cost to these samples I should be aware of? A deal with a pirate crew, perhaps?
No problems. I found some stashed away for a rainy century.
You make it sound so easy. Ah, here we are. Fortunately, the plague is so virulent it cultures very rapidly. Bad news. The serum you recovered looks like it was effective 300 years ago, but the Rakghoul plague has mutated since then. This serum will only provide effective immunity for extraordinarily healthy individuals.
How do we make it stop modern rat ghouls?
Manufacturing a true vaccine requires what we call a lucky survivor. Someone whose system has made antibodies to the plague. We haven't had a survivor yet, for obvious reasons, but this serum might provide the link we need. If I infected an extraordinary individual protected by the serum, I could collect the antibodies and make an effective vaccine.
If it means we can someday wipe those things from the planet, sign me up.
Well, and I had this whole speech ready. All right. We have a medical droid, CB-084, set up to observe rat ghouls in the field. He'll be able to collect the antibodies and slow any potential complications. After I give you the serum, go out there and test it. Let the rat ghouls attack you and see what happens.
Inject me, and let's get going.
Here you go. I hope the Force is with you, because the science is stretched to the limit.
If you have any questions about military operations on... My pardon, Jedi. I'm actually expecting one of your order. Are you the one who saved my team at the Endar Spire?
You're the one I'm supposed to report to?
Yes. I appreciate the service you have done for me and for the Republic. The data from the Endar Spire will be invaluable to the Republic's war efforts. Lieutenant Carlsu tells me there's close surveillance footage of the Imperial warships.
The Force reaches out to correct its own imbalance.
Well, whether it does or not, I'm going to keep helping it along. Thank you for your service. Republic intelligence has been waiting for this data since the bombardment fell.
The Republic sent a unit to retrieve our team's bodies. They said to thank you for your help.
Aren't you going to ask if he wasted his time on your pet project?
Why do you always try to ruin everything? Do Sullustan moms not hug their children or something? Did you get to the bombardment site? I don't see a scratch on you.
The Rakghouls didn't want to give up their blood, but I convinced them.
I'm sure you can be quite persuasive. Just let me see the samples. I've got a portable scanner that can give us preliminary results right now. That's amazing. There's over a 50% correlation. Genetic drift usually means a much less marked connection, even in a normal population after so many years.
They really are defending their ancestors, then.
It means we just made one of the most important discoveries in Tarisian history.
What? Where's the cynical disbelief?
You can't dispute the numbers, Sierra. You're right. This is amazing. If Rakghouls have enough rationality to remember people and places that matter to them, we can't keep treating them like mindless animals.
I don't like where this is going.
We need to cancel our operations in these grave sites. We can't keep antagonizing them.
But if we know they come to the defense of certain territories, we can bait them, draw them out, so the Republic can send in troops to exterminate them.
No, if they're sentient, we can't just keep murdering them.
I'll contact the Reconstruction Authority. Do you have an opinion on this?
If there's any way to coexist peacefully with the Rakghouls, we should take it.
I guess it's a virtue to forgive, right? At least this way, maybe we can avoid those kind of attacks in the future. I'll give the Republic your recommendation. Thank you again for all your help.
Mahata Chiwanchi, Ayitiupi. Wafuma the Bota Don Wiwanki Wakoba Yakaloka. Nagoliji Watahumpa, Mulira Watawampa.
Can you elaborate?
Padwana Ubikili Watapunka, Toka Patoga Lurda. Mukutani Yompi, Padwana ni Bobo Chopaduma.
Revenge won't justify your squadron's death.
Jatani Chichajima Scotcha. Mugusanopi Chunki. Fakota Chi Otto Endia.
This won't take long.
Iguatuchu. Tahawa the Punyo is the water. Se grotto ubi ubi. Fui baniaka twipi ta boca tonka. Wana waka.
What do you think, Khan?
The foundation of the Taris Chemworks factory cannot be repaired. I expect total collapse within 2 weeks. Once the building falls, the stored chemicals will flood this area. They are highly toxic to humans. I am sorry.
I'll make sure there are speeders on hand, but we can't just pack up and go. Do what you can.
As always, I will pursue an alternative. Master Jedi, forgive my inattentiveness. I am honored by your presence, though I advise you not to stay long.
I appreciate the advice, but I could use a reason.
Many of these ruins are unstable. A nearby structure used for chemical storage is on the verge of crumbling. As I was explaining to my colleague, there is only one way to remove the chemicals before they spill. A burn-off. A well-armed demolitions team could reach the structure and incinerate the chemical stockpiles. I can provide the incendiaries. Unfortunately, no team is available.
I'd like to help any way I can.
Your generosity is considerable. You should know, however, between the structural instability, the toxicity levels, and the incendiary chemicals, the mission does carry substantial risk. It is nonetheless urgent. You are not a demolitions team, I fully recognize this. But if you could arrange the burn-off, I would humbly welcome your aid.
I see your infection is progressing. Hold still while I take samples for analysis. While I transmit the data to Dr. Sell, there are some questions I should ask. Do you have any of the following symptoms? Dizziness, fever, shortness of breath, and inexhaustible hunger for sentient flesh?
Can you do anything about these cuts? I'm losing blood here.
I'm sorry, my core function is in analysis, not trauma care. Ah, here's Dr. Sell.
Good news. Your antibody count is off the charts. I'll start work on a vaccine immediately. You are remarkably brave. Our progress has just jumped forward by years. While you recuperate, I'm going to transmit the usual secrecy agreements. Just use your thumbprint to sign on the sensor.
What do you mean, usual secrecy agreements?
This is standard procedure when the Republic develops biotech with significant earnings potential. We develop the vaccine for Republic soldiers first, and when it's proven, sell it to colonists. Until then, it's under wraps. We don't want the Exchange or the Sith funding some horrible operation with an underground version.
Lives will be lost while this profit is being made.
Tell me something I don't know. Every week we hear another Rakghoul horror story. But every colonist on the planet is going to want this vaccine. How do I tell my superiors we gave up that kind of money?
An entire planet succumbed to this plague. Are you a doctor or a patent office?
I'm a doctor. And this cure will get made, even if I have to build the manufacturing plant or hand-synthesize every macrophage.
Well, I think she's angry, but from past experience, may I say that usually motivates her. If it means anything coming from a droid, sir, congratulations on your research, and also your remarkable survival.
Master Jedi, please, excuse my abruptness. The Republic told me you might be able to help with a difficult situation. They say you are a most reliable operative on Taris. Have you heard anything about titroxinate being sold on the black market?
What's titroxinate?
Titroxinate was the pre-patent name for the weaponized agent we think was responsible for the Rakghoul plague. The Empire could fashion it into a terrible weapon, turning us soldiers into monsters and setting them against us.
Where's the arms dealer who's selling this stuff?
I'm more worried about his source. Trace the original titroxinate samples to an old Chemworks factory. It's overrun with Nexu. We can't get near it. If you can retrieve any canisters that remain, the Republic will see you're well rewarded for your effort.
Master Jedi, what brings you to our small corner of Republic space? This is such a great, great honor.
Even a forgotten planet can harbor dark secrets.
Well, whatever brings you here, I suggest you don't stay long. We barely got stores enough for our station soldiers, much less visitors. At this rate, I've got men scalping ration cubes for a half-week's salary.
I can't believe the Republic sent you out here without sufficient supplies.
Oh, we get supplies. Every month. Shipped in from Ord Mantell. The problem is this month's ship went nose down in some of the worst territory on Taris. It'll take another month before the next one arrives. And in the meantime, my men are stewing their gloves.
Is the ship lost? Why haven't your men recovered the supplies?
Our men tried to reach the ship once, but they turned back after taking serious casualties. They said it's more than just Rakghouls, but couldn't make an ID. If you still want to go, you'll need to talk to our quartermaster at the supply shed across the base. She's got the exact coordinates of the crash.
And you're just going to make this all better, huh?
Usually, people are happy if I come to make things better.
I'm Karen Weck, Quartermaster. Commander Gardet just called to say you're retrieving our supplies. For which, by the way, I and the rest of the troops here humbly thank you. But I don't want Commander Fatpants to think it means he gets away with this. Steal from your troops, waste Republic money bringing in silks and wine from Alderaan, and it's fine. because some wandering Jedi will happen in to save you.
That's a serious accusation.
I said over and over that the ship needed repairs. The left stasis generator was loose, and the hyperdrive motivator was seeping fluid. But Gardet had already spent our allotted maintenance budget on himself.
You best be certain about this.
I'm telling the truth. Somehow he's juggling the numbers he sends to HQ. No commander needs a personal vehicle in an outpost this size. If you can take this holo camera out to the crash site, you could get the evidence I need to get him court-martialed.
It's better than dealing with this guilt trip.
Thank you. If you take holopics of the engine, I can show that the documented lack of repairs is what caused the crash. The most important thing is the supplies, though. The crash site isn't far. When you get everything, bring it back here so I can distribute it.